Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. So from my perspective, do you think that Zinedine Zidane or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would be a better option than Mauricio Pochettino? Because potentially Zinedine Zidane could actually be potentially the favourite now to come in at Manchester United at the end of the season. But as we all saw today, the current results, as we all know, it looks like realistically, Liverpool are going to potentially win the league this season. I hate saying that as a Manchester United fan, but all respect to them. They've played great football this year. They've looked very good defensively. They've got a great manager with a winning mentality. He won the title, with Borussia Dortmund in the past, but they are playing great football, scoring goals, scored 2 goals now, is it, in 9 games, something like that. Still haven't lost. I think the City had 10 points clear at the top now. Liverpool 10 points in front of City. I think they're like 9 in front of Tottenham, as well as Liverpool. So they're reminding me of how we used to play under Alex Ferguson. That's the type of football currently Liverpool are playing at the moment. But I think potentially I favour them to win the league this season, as we all know. Potentially Liverpool will be even happy, with Tottenham slipping up today, losing at home to Wolves 3-1, as we all currently know. But Liverpool got a decent lead now, as we all know. I think they're 22 points in front of us, as well. But Klopp's invested in the last couple of seasons. They've got a good attacking trio. They've got Salah, they've got Firmino, and they've got Mane. Firmino got a hat trick today, as we all know. Mane and Salah scored as well. And I think potentially Salah is the best player in the Premier League without a shadow of a doubt. His pace, creativeness, the way that he drives on us forward, the way that he creates chances, the way that he scores goals, his finishing's superb as well, and he's an unbelievable player. But I thought it'd have been closer, to be quite honest with that Liverpool game today. Obviously Arsenal had a lot of injuries, going into the game. Obviously, I think Umre may need to reinvest in the January transfer window, as we all know. He hasn't been getting the right funds, in my opinion. Umre hasn't been backed enough, but I think they still need to strengthen up in January. They need to get some defensive reinforcements. Potentially, players may leave, as well, as we all know. I think they're in search for a winger, as well as Arsenal, but potentially they were winning that game by 1-0 today, with Arsenal, and just let it blip, as we all know. But I thought they would have potentially put a better in. Arsenal, obviously going into the game, had thoughts they were going to lose the game, but not by 5-1, as we all know. But they don't have a great record against the top teams anywhere, the Arsenal, as we all know. But they did. They were a well-beaten team today. Since that they had a good 22-match unbeaten run, as we all know. But since that Southampton defeat, they have gone downhill a little bit, and they have got a lot of injury problems. So that's probably one of the key reasons why. But they should be still putting it from their perspective. They should be performing better than that. Should Arsenal? I saw the other results today. Leicester lost at home to Cardiff. Watford drew at home with Newcastle. Fulham won at home to Huddersfield. There was another 1-0 game. Brighton, yes, beat Everton at the Amex as well. So, yeah, see, there haven't been really a lot of goals in the Premier League games today, apart from the Liverpool game and all that. There hasn't been that much goals, as we all know. So, potentially, as we all know, City play Southampton tomorrow, as we all know. Manchester United, of course, we are at home to Bournemouth, as we all know. But as I said, I hate Liverpool. I don't want Liverpool or City to win the league, because obviously we both hate them. But as I said, it's going to be between them two. But I think Liverpool are going to win it now anyway, because City have slipped up in the last 2 games and Liverpool are too far ahead. As we all know, they have got a difficult game, Liverpool against Manchester City. They are undefeated so far. I do think someone will beat them. I don't think they'll do what an Arsenal did in 2004. But anyway, let's get back on, as I said. So do you think Zinedine Zidane or Solskjaer would be actually a better option than Manchester United, recommending Pochettino to come in at the end of the season? Well, in terms of that, Manchester United have been linked with getting Potchettinho in, as we all know. It would reportedly cost the club £35–40 million, as we all know, to get him in. And with that money, we could save that money and potentially get a signing, with that money that that money that we would pay Pochettino, that £35–40 million, we could use that money and potentially get a player and get Zinedine Zidane in, or obviously keep Solskjaer on as a full-time basis, as we all know. Pochettino is a good manager though, as I said, he is Premier League proven, as we all know. I think he has got that winning mentality. He has done a good job with Spurs, even though they did lose at home today 3-1, which was actually the shock of the weekend, as we all currently know. But he's got a 5-year deal, as we all know. They're still awaiting a new stadium. I think they get their new stadium in January to Tottenham, or is it February, something like that. But it is in the new year, as we all currently know. But we know that Manchester United have been linked of getting Pochettino in. He did say he was fully committed to Tottenham anyway. He wasn't really interested, Pochettino, of coming to Manchester United. He just says he was fully committed to Tottenham. As we all know, we never know. We know that he's never won out in terms of silverware, Mauricio Pochettino, as a manager. He has been managing since 2009. He spent £50 million at Tottenham since 2014. So mainly Tottenham is built around him anyway, and he has got a lot of good players. He's good at developing young players as well as Mauricio Pochettino. As I said, and he played 18 years in his playing career, as we all know. He's got a good record with Tottenham. I think he's won over 100 games with Tottenham. He had a good record with Southampton as well. But potentially, do you think Solskjaer and Zinedine Zidane would be potentially a better option than Manchester United paying £40 million to get Pochettino at the end of the season? I'm not too sure to quite honest here. Everyone's got a different opinion regarding Zinedine Zidane. As I did update you on that, suggestions have stirred up more potentially now about Zinedine Zidane, because potentially, as I did update you, Man United have approached him quite a few times. Reportedly, Zinedine Zidane, whilst he was on holiday in Dubai, met one of the Manchester United ambassadors, which was Mikhail Silvestre, who was a great player with Manchester United for years, won like 4 Premier Leagues. Won the FA Cup, won the League Cup, won the Champions League, and all that in his 9-year tenure with Manchester United as a player. And reportedly, they did meet up in Dubai, so that could stir more suggestions up. He has been in discussions with his representatives about coming to managing English football. I think he does understand the philosophy. He's got a good pedigree. He's never played or managed in the Premier League, as we all know. I think he did once he was destined to come and manage in the Premier League with Zinedine Zidane, because Man United have literally offered him the job. As we all know, Man United have held negotiations over recommending Zinedine Zidane at the end of the season, as we all know. But as I said, he's never played or managed in the Premier League, but he's got great managerial experience. He's got great managerial credentials. He's also dealt with top players as well, and he proved himself very, very well with Real Madrid. He was also good as a player with Real Madrid and Juventus as well, was Zinedine Zidane, as we all know. So could he now potentially be the number one target to come in at the end of the season? That's if Solskjaer doesn't get the job on a full-time basis. But as I said, Solskjaer could get the job on a full-time basis, as we all know. So far, so good. 2 wins out of 2, 8 goals scored. And he's got United playing the United way, that attacking football. He also likes the whip, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's had a bit of managerial experience. He wasn't so good at Cardiff. He won 2 Norwegian titles with Molde, as we all know, but he knows, obviously, some of these players from the reserve team, there's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he knows the culture of the club, he knows the club inside out, he knows the traditions of the club, as well as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I think he has got that winning mentality, as we all know. But as I said, the club are still recruiting to recommend a new manager in at the end of the season. Pochettino's, one choice, but would you prefer Solskjaer to either keep the job on a full-time basis, or Zinedine Zidane, rather than us paying a fee of £40 million at the end of the season, when we could actually use that £35 or £40 million, whatever it is, to get a signing on the board? We could save that money and get a signing on the board, maybe get a centre back with that money or whatever. You know what I mean? So potentially, yes. So maybe the best option would be keep Solskjaer on a full-time basis, or recommend Zinedine Zidane in at the end of the season. He obviously won 3 Champions Leagues, with Real Madrid, but he's been managerless now for 6 months, Zinedine Zidane, but he's got a great pedigree, a great managerial CV, as we all currently know. But Solskjaer's doing very, very well at the moment, as we all know. Who's to say if he progresses us very, very well and we do well, we get the results that we want, as I said, who's to say we'll get the contract and, get the job on a full-time basis? Because Solskjaer did say he'd like the Manchester United job on a full-time basis, as he has admitted. He did say, a lot of managers would like to manage Manchester United, as we all currently know. So this is what Solskjaer said. But good, fair play to Solskjaer. He knows the club. He was a great player for 11 years, from 1996 to 2007, as we all know. And potentially, he has said, he's confirmed that everyone's going to get the chance. He's going to promote the youth, as we all know. I think players are going to grow and develop under the management of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I think, he has been potentially, being in close contact with Ferguson, as we all know, discussing his managerial style at the club as well. But regarding, as I said, 2 wins out of 2, players playing very, really well. He told them to express themselves, the players. Solskjaer told the players to express themselves, and they have done that very, very well indeed. And we're getting at least 80% better out of these players now under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And it just looks a total different United, as we all currently know. The fans are happy now, the players are happy, the players have got confidence, they're getting fullbacks out of the pitch, they're getting bodies in decent positions, creating chances, scoring goals, and that's potentially, what we want to see at Manchester United, of course. So he did mention about rotating, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well, but he loves the club, he's happy fulfilling the managerial role, and he would like the job on a full-time basis. And I think, he knows the club inside out. He loves Michael Carrick, of course. as we all currently know. Solskjaer actually, I think, played alongside him, was it? Because Carrick came in 2006, as a player. He likes being alongside Kieran McKenna. He likes, obviously, Mike Phelan as his assistant as well. So he does love the club, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all currently know. And the players have expressed themselves very, very well so far, showing heart, showing desire, and showing passion, and show that they do want to play for Manchester United, which is very, very good to see. But as I said, my option would be, I do like Potchettinho, criminally proven, and I think he's got that winning mentality and he understands the philosophy. I do like Potchettinho, but obviously we're thinking that there's probably better options out there than Mauricio Pochettino, and he's already said he's fully committed to Tottenham, as we all know. So would Zinedine Zidane or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer be the better option? We know potentially that, this Juventus manager's being named, he's been put onto the shortlist. We know he's potentially not the favourite, this Juventus manager, as we all know. As I did tell you, I've read some of his stats. His ratio is very, very good. He has won honours. He has won individual awards. So he has got a pretty decent pedigree. He's with Juventus. He's won 4 consecutive domestic doubles with Juventus. He's been at Juventus since 2014. AC Milan as well. He won the Serie A with them. He managed an Italian team as well. He got them to their best finish in nearly 15 years. Some of the Italian teams I can't really pronounce. It's hard to pronounce them. He's been managing since 2003, so he's been managing a good 15, 16 year now as the manager. He also got Juventus to the 2015 and 2017 Champions League final. I think they've become runners up the most times in the Champions League as well of Juventus. So he's been potentially named. I think Arsenal went for him, obviously, when Arsene Wenger departed, but obviously they recommended Umremre into the Arsenal job, as we all know. But there has been a few managers' names potentially being mentioned, as we all know. There's been, we've mentioned about Leonardo Jardim's being mentioned, Laurent Blanc's being mentioned. So there has been a few potential names mentioned. But I think now Zinedine Zidane could be potentially the favourite. This is if Solskjaer doesn't get the job on a full-time basis. As I said, and Bournemouth tomorrow. Solskjaer's give us a bit of an update. As I said, Sanchez could be fit, but Solskjaer did confirm he will definitely, if not, be featuring in the Newcastle game. And his fitness regimes, look very, very good as Alexis Sanchez, as we all know. So he will get the chance to prove himself under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Lukaku will get the chance, hopefully, to prove himself under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because Lukaku's missed the last 2 games due to compassionate leave, and Sanchez has been out since November. And as we all know, they've got a chance now, Lukaku and Sanchez, to prove themselves under the management of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because they are yet to play under him. But he has laid the laws down as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but it is positively the way that he's laid the laws down. He wants Lukaku and Alexis Sanchez to prove themselves. He said it's down to them to do it on the pitch, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has confirmed, because Lukaku's big BM bottler. He struggled for consistency this season. His first touch, does concern us all. He has scored 45 goals for Belgium, as we all know. He's Premier League proven. He has proven to be a prolific goal scorer, in the Premier League as Romelu Lukaku, as we all know. As I said, I don't see how he fits in the team, because the players amongst him, like Rashford, Lingard, Martial and all that, have got great pace to press out the pitch. They can create chances, and Lukaku can't do this. But unless he develops himself and, prove himself, unless he, turns out really, really good under Solskjaer when he does get the chance, Romelu Lukaku. But he was injured early on this season. He's been struggling for consistency this season, as we all know. And Sanchez has been injured, but he struggled to make an impact, when he's been playing this season. We've had him nearly a year now. We had him since last January. He's obviously on over £500,000 a week. I think he's on about £505,000 a week, but he's yet to prove himself. We know he's Premier League proven. I thought he was good at Arsenal, but he's still got pace as Alexis Sanchez. He has proven he can score goals, but he hasn't made an impact at Manchester United, as we all know, as yet. But he still has the chance to do that under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And if Lukaku and Sanchez don't prove themselves under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, or they don't show any consistency, then may think about getting rid of them, as we all know. But I still think, Solskjaer's still got to think about contract renewals, his lineup and his tactics every game, as we all know. But I still think players could leave. As Solskjaer did confirm, Valencia will be keeping the captain's armband, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's confirmed. He hasn't played much this season. He's been struggling with his fitness, struggling to get game time. He had a mouth injury. He didn't leave Valencia early on in the season. There were speculation of him leaving. A few weeks ago, obviously, this is when Mourinho was here, because obviously, his representatives have been discussions, regarding Valencia's future. But as I said, Valencia did reportedly, there were teams interested in him, and the reports saying he could leave in January or go on a free transfer next summer. Because I think the club have been in talks of securing him another 1-year deal at the club, haven't they, Man United, regarding Antonio Valencia, as we all currently know. But as I did say, guys, they're playing to the potential best now. Is this team under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Pogba's been performing well. Lindelof, I think, has played well this season. Jones has been playing well lately. I thought he played well against Huddersfield. Jones is known for injuries. He's injury prone, but when he does get them run of games under his belt, he can perform very, very well. Can Phil Jones, as we all know. I think Rojo's used. He's used there as a backup option. Is Marcus Rojo? He's injured at the moment. From far as I know, Smalling's injured. Scott McTominay wears a doubt. I think Luke Shaw's been good this season. I know Luke Shaw is obviously our first choice left back. Last season didn't get the game time because he had disputes with Mourinho, but I think Luke Shaw, as I said, he's known for injuries. He had the same problem at Southampton, did Luke Shaw, as we all know. And he's been injured this season, hasn't he? As well as Luke Shaw. As I said, I don't think Fellaini's got a future at the club as well. I wonder how he's going to fit in this new regime at Manchester United, because obviously Jose Mourinho used to use him as a plan B, as we all know, and potentially, how does he fit in the team? He has been here since 2013 as Marian Fellaini, but we paid, £27 million for him, something like that, was it? But as I said, I don't see how he's going to fit in the team. There were rumours last year, was it, of him going? There were a few teams interested, but he never went. Marian Fellaini, as we all know, but he's too slow. He's good at winning headers sometimes, and he has had a couple of decent games for Fellaini, but I don't see that he, in my personal opinion, he doesn't have a future at Manchester United. Matic, as I said, too slow, no tempo to his play, just like Fellaini, too slow, but Matic can pass the ball, and he has proven himself in these 2 games, with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, obviously scoring against Huddersfield as well, which was very, very good to see. But as I said, he's guaranteed everyone will get a chance. It's good to see that Mata's going to get more game time from the start. Bay's going to get more game time. I know he didn't play last time out, but he's going to get more game time because Bay hasn't played much this season, but Bay's got great potential. As I said, Pereira should get more of that game time. Reportedly Arsenal have been interested in him. There's been no sign of him as yet signing a new contract, as we all know, but I don't know where his future lies. It depends if he gets, the game time that he's demanding that he wants at Manchester United. I think Fred's going to definitely get more game time. I think he needs more games under his belt to get playing, to his potential best, because he hasn't really had much of a chance this season, as Fred, as we all know. But potentially, Martial, who missed the last game, he could be featuring in the Bournemouth game as well, could Anthony Martial. I said in the last 7 meetings with Bournemouth, we've won 5, there's been 1 drawn, we've lost 1. The first time they came up to the Premier League, they did beat us by 2-1, did Bournemouth as well. They're struggling. I think they're sitting 12. I think they've lost 9 or 10 games this season or something like that, Bournemouth. But it should be an easy win for Manchester United. We have got winnable games coming up, as we all currently know. So potentially, I want to know your opinions. Would Solskjaer or Zinedine Zidane be the better option than Man United recommending Potchettinho in at the end of the season? And we would have to pay a fee because, as I said, he's got a 5-year deal with Tottenham as Mauricio Pochettino. Pochettino is a Premier League proven Zinedine Zidane in because he's never managed or played in the Premier League. But Solskjaer's proven in Premier League as a great, not as a manager, obviously. Well, not really as a manager. He's had a bit of experience, with Cardiff and all that, because he got Cardiff relegated, as we all know. So he's had a bit of experience in Premier League as a manager, that period he had with Cardiff, but he had a lot of experience in Premier League as a player because he was here 11 years under Alex. So he knows bits about the Premier League, he knows a hell of a lot about Manchester United, as I said, but it depends how he progresses. They may give him the job on a full-time basis, they may not. I do not know, but I think Ed Woodward's thinking about recommending Pochettino or Zinedine Zidane in, as we all currently know. But let me just get my charger. So about that, I'm just going to charge this up. But yeah, I think it's on charge now. Let me just have a look. But yeah, reportedly we've still got a few potential targets for this upcoming January transfer window, as I said. Reportedly, it did say allegedly we're going to get around £50 million spending spree to spend in the January window. This was reported quite a few weeks ago, as we all know. But according to media, we are interested in a few central defenders, as we all know. Obviously, Koulibaly, Reportedly, it did say actually Napoli had reduced it. They've lowered their asking price, so that they have reduced their asking price reportedly because Napoli rated him at around £90 million. Obviously, as I've updated you on a regular basis, that obviously he suffered some racial abuse in Napoli's 1-0 defeat to AC Inter Milan. Reportedly, UEFA or FIFA, I think, are investigating the thing. As I said, I don't know much about it, but they've classified it as unacceptable, as we all currently know. So reportedly, they've lowered the asking price. Man United have been heavily linked with him, of course. But as I said, he would be a great major signing, would Koulibaly, to be quite honest with you. He's under contract with Napoli to 2023. He adapts every area of his game very well. He's got a lot of tenacity part his play. He's good in the air. He's 27 years of age, so you would get a lot of years out of Koulibaly. Reportedly, Man United in the process have had 3 bids turned down for the player. Right now, the latest one reportedly was £95 million bid that had been turned down for the player. His versatility is good. He's good in the air. And he's got a good pedigree in Europe as well. And Napoli only paid, £7 million for him from Genk. This is his 4th or 5th season now with Napoli, but the Senegal international is a great top central defender, as we all know. And I think he'd look good if you put him alongside Lindelof and Bailly. He'd complement our backline very well, and he'd be a good leader in our backline. Obviously, Ed Woodward has had discussions with the Napoli officials over Manchester United potentially making a deal. The Napoli president confirmed in the process that this £95 million bid had been put in, but instantly had been turned down for Koulibaly as well. He's been a full international since 2013, but obviously we may now obviously turn more attention on Tottenham's Toby Alderweireld. Obviously got a 25 million release clause for next summer as a player. Toby Alderweireld is a good, strong central defender. I said I do have reservations about him, but he can prove to be a world-class central defender. Can Toby Alderweireld, as we all know. I said he's lost the pace a little bit. I think he needs to adjust his game more. I think he's good at reading the game. Toby Alderweireld, I think he'd be a good leader in our back line. Of course, Premier League proven. Tottenham do have other options at the back with Davinson Sanchez and Vertonghen and all that, as we all currently know. But as I said, Toby Alderweireld is proven in the Premier League. As we all currently know, there's been no sign of him signing a new contract with Tottenham, as we all know, and he would be a great signing, potentially, Toby Alderweireld. But of course, Man United were in discussions of getting Toby Alderweireld last summer, but obviously a deal in the process never came to an agreement because Tottenham, I think, were demanding Corsa last summer, £60 million. We're now reluctant, Tottenham are, of selling, a lot of their top players off. We know how, ruthless they are of their top players, as we all know. But as I said, he's got a 25 million release clause for next summer because Tottenham are going to extend, are going to put a contract on his current contract, as I said, and this does include the 25 million release clause. So this will be next summer. So he could be set to leave next summer. Could Toby Alderweireld? His versatility is good. You can play as a centre back. You can also play him as a fullback as well, Toby Alderweireld. But he would be very good. He would lead our back line very well. But yeah, I do have reservations about him. But of course, he knows about the Premier League and he's Premier League proven, as I currently said. So potentially he's been a target. Recent reports have been coming out today that I have been reading as well. That reportedly Manchester United, of some way, shape, or form, have shown an interest in Real Madrid's Isco. Well, reportedly, according to some media outlets, I've just been reporting that reportedly Man United have held negotiations with his current agent about, have held discussions with currently Isco's representatives over Manchester United making a move. There has been a few teams actually interested in Isco. There was reports coming out the week that Arsenal were interested in Isco. The reports coming out saying City were interested, Chelsea were interested. So reportedly there's been a few teams interested. But I think Isco's a great player, great attacking midfielder, skillful, got a lot of tenacity about his play. His passing's absolutely superb as well. And I think him and Pogba in our midfield would look absolutely fantastic because, as I said, when Pogba plays well, he's like 2 players in one. And as I said, when he plays to his potential for best, that he has been playing in these 2 games under Solsjaker, he's on at least 12 to 15 goals a season, and he's quick on the ball, he can pass the ball, he can get in decent areas and positions, can Paul Pogba, as we all know. But I think Pogba would have left in January, if Mourinho had still been here. But as he's not here now, Mourinho, of course, I think, Pogba will be staying because I think he's going to flourish under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I think a lot of young players are going to grow, develop, and I think they're going to flourish under Solskjaer as well. But Isco and Pogba, will complement each other in our midfield fantastically well, because Isco has played as a deeper midfielder before. He's mainly attacking midfielder. Is Isco, and he's a great midfielder. Potentially, we have in our midfield, we have got Fellaini who's slow, we have got Matic that's slow. Herrera, he hasn't got a lot of pace. He's not as slow as Matic and Fellaini though. But as I said, if you put Isco alongside Pogba, they complement each other well. They're both fast players. They're very skillful. So too is Isco. But as I said, Isco is out of favour. As we all know now at Real Madrid under Santiago Solari. He's not getting the game time that he currently wants under Santiago Solari. Isco has reportedly got around a 600 odd million release clause in his current contract. He's under contract, I think, with Real Madrid until 2022, as we all know. But he's worked under Manuel Pellegrini in the past, as we all know. He actually began his career with Valencia, so he's highly experienced in Spain. He mainly played in the Valencia reserve team, but as I said, he's a very good player. Is Isco, as we all know. He's won 4 Champions Leagues with Real Madrid as well. He has been at Real Madrid since 2013, is Isco, but he's a creative, very good creative midfielder, great playmaker, as I said. So I'd love Isco if he was to make a move to Manchester United, of course, but there has been a few teams interested in Real Madrid's Isco, as we all currently know. But as I did, like I said, guys, but as I did update you earlier on about the other transfer rumours, that potentially were going on. I give you a bit of Arsenal's, didn't I? I give you a bit of Liverpool's, and I give you a bit of, Chelsea's transfer rumours, potentially, that were going on. As I did update you, I'll give you a bit of Chelsea's, didn't I? Potentially they could be on the verge of signing Christian Pulisic from Borussia Dortmund. Potentially the German press had actually reported that Chelsea and Borussia Dortmund had come to an agreement. Reportedly it said personal terms had been agreed. Reportedly it did say, I don't know if a fee has actually been agreed, but I think it will be a fee of around 45-50 million pounds, to persuade Borussia Dortmund to offload him off. It did say reportedly, allegedly, a 45 million pound fee. A 45 million fee had been agreed between Chelsea and Borussia Dortmund for Christian Pulisic next summer, because obviously Borussia Dortmund have obviously confirmed to do any business in January for the player, because they want to keep him till the end of the season. And I like him. He is a very good winner. Do you think potentially Manchester United need a winger to qualify? I said we're not in any rush to sign any permanent players in January, get any permanent deals in January. But Pulisic, as I said, Liverpool have been interested. Reportedly, Arsenal have just had a £35 million bid turned down for the player as well. But he's got a lot of tenacity about his play, can put balls into the box, and I think he would become a flourish in the Premier League. He was playing a lot amongst the right players, and he was getting the game time that he wanted, and I think he's going to get it. Chelsea anyway if he goes to Chelsea. But he's under contract with Dortmund until 2020. There's been no sign of him signing a new long-term contract, as we all currently know. But the Borussia Dortmund director confirmed they're not willing to do any business in January for Christian Pulisic. And obviously, he can play attacking mid. You can play him out wide as well. And potentially, Chelsea could still see a couple of their players leave, as we all currently know. But as I said, Klopp's been keen on the players. Klopp's keen on reuniting with a player. Klopp, has a good relationship with Christian Pulisic, as we all know. He is American, Christian Pulisic, and the Liverpool owners, FSG, are American, as we all currently know. But as I said, it did reportedly say Arsenal had a £35 million bid turned down for Pulisic. Borussia Dortmund are obviously eyeing out a replacement for Christian Pulisic, as we all currently know. So potentially Chelsea could officially sign him next summer, because Borussia Dortmund have confirmed they're not willing to do any business in January, according to their perspective anyway. But Liverpool are still monitoring the interest in Christian Pulisic, as we all currently know, because as I said to you, Eden Hazard, he hasn't committed his future yet with Chelsea. Obviously, he's hit over a century of goals now with Chelsea. Potentially Chelsea's best player, very good player indeed. He's been linked with a move to Real Madrid. Reportedly, there is rumours that are going on about it. There's been no sign of Eden Hazard actually signing a new deal with Chelsea, as we all know. Obviously, I think Morata's going to leave as well, as I've already updated you about Morata and Gonzalo Higuain is the potential swap deal. So potentially Chelsea do need a centre forward in this upcoming January transfer window, because Morata is obviously not first choice now under Sarri, and obviously he's fallen down the pecking order. He hasn't really done that well, since he come to the Premier League. Chelsea paid £60 million for him, as we all know. But he spent most of his playing career when he was young in his prime Real Madrid. He did very, very well in Madrid. He had a 2-year spell with Juventus as well. He'd have Real Morata, but he hasn't really proven himself in the Premier League. And obviously, he's not first choice under Sarri, as we all know. And I think, potentially he wants Gonzalo Higuain as a part of a swap deal. It's going to be a loan exchange reportedly with the option to buy something like that anywhere. Sarri loves Gonzalo Higuain because obviously Sarri used to work with him when obviously Gonzalo was young and when he was younger and when he was at Napoli, as I said. So he's classified him as a wonderful player. He wants him, does Sarri. Gonzalo Higuain is obviously on loan at AC Milan at the moment. AC Milan had to pay a fee of £60-70 million, but, he was great. He hasn't really proven himself at AC Milan, but he was very, very great at Real Madrid, scored loads of goals. He was very, very good in his 3 years with Napoli, scored loads and loads of goals and, won honours and all that. And, he was very, very good with Juventus. As I said, Juventus paid £89 million for him. He's South American, as we all know, is the player. So potentially, there has been potential talks about that. But he can lead the lines, he can score goals, and I think he would bring goals to Chelsea. As I said, would Gonzalo Higuain, but potentially Chelsea want him as a replacement for Alvaro Morata. As I said with the Pulisic situation, they wouldn't want to see Pulisic as an actual replacement for Eden Hazard. But as I said, Eden Hazard's future still uncertain at this moment in time. There's been no sign of him yet signing a new contract. Chelsea have been in talks. But as I said, Christian Pulisic would be a very, very good signing for them anyway. He's only 20 years of age, as we all know, and they've got another player there. Callum Hudson's future's uncertain because he hasn't been getting the game time with Chelsea, as we all know. He hasn't been getting game time, and he's only 18 years of age, and he wants to get first-team football, and he hasn't been getting it with Chelsea, as we all know. So potentially he could leave as well. He could potentially leave as well. But as I did update you guys to give you a bit of an update on, a bit of Arsenal's transfer rumours, as I did say, they've got a lot of injury problems. As I said, they've got a lot of injury problems. As I said, they need to reinvest in January. I think they need to address the defence. I think they need to bolster the defence up. I think they need a winger as well. As I said, he got 5 plays in Umremre last summer, as we all know. But I think he needs to address, the problems at Arsenal up. As we all know, still look a better team than they did under Umremre. Now, in the last couple of games, since they've lost to Southampton, they did go on a 22-game unbeaten run. They're starting to see signs now, recently, of what they saw under Arsene Wenger, as we all currently know. Umremre hasn't been back enough, hasn't been getting the funds, but Arsenal, I think, they need a world-class central defender in January. They're interested in a few wingers, as we all know. They've obviously got a lot of players injured. But potentially they've got Aaron Ramsey, who's set to leave. Danny Welbeck, who's set to leave as well. Ozil's future still uncertain with the club. Obviously, he's now got a knee injury. Reportedly, he could be out for a long time. Mesut Ozil. Aaron Ramsey's obviously guaranteed to leave Arsenal as well. Whether it be in January or next summer, I do not know. There's been a few teams that have been expressing an interest in him, such as Juventus and Paris Saint-Germain have reportedly been in negotiations about this. Aaron Ramsey's obviously been at the club over a decade. He's made over 2 century appearances for Arsenal, as we all know as Aaron Ramsey. But as I said, Arsenal will probably rather cash in for the player rather than let him go on a free transfer next summer. Aaron Ramsey, so he's set to leave. So Arsenal have got to find replacements for him as well. Ozil's future is still uncertain. As I said, he hasn't really committed his future, but he has really failed to adapt himself under Umremre. He's had injury problems this season. He's got an injury now, reportedly. He had a back injury early on in the season. He had a good start to the season, did Ozil, but he's Premier League proven and as I said, he hasn't adapted himself under Umremre, to be quite honest with you. He's been at Arsenal since 2013. Arsenal paid £42.5 million for him. Arsenal still know how much of a central player he is, but he's been struggling for form this season. He's been struggling for consistency, as we all know. As I said, his future's uncertain. Arsenal would recommend a fee for him, obviously, because he's got a new contract. He signed this new contract, a new deal last year worth £350,000 a week, as we all know. As we all know, there has been potential talks of Ozil and Isco as a potential swap deal, as we all know. There was talks about that the other week. But as I said, Isco's a very, very good player. Reportedly, as I did say earlier on, Man United have reportedly approached his current representatives. I do really, really like Isco. As I said, it would be good for him to come and experience the Premier League. Isco, he's had a good playing career. He's not witnessing a good he's not getting the game time now under Santiago Solari at Real Madrid, as we all know. But I think Real Madrid have had problems since Zinedine Zidane left and since Ronaldo departed Real Madrid. You know, if I'm going to be quite honest with you, but as I said, Arsenal would take Isco as a replacement for Mesut Ozil if Mesut Ozil did leave. You know, Arsenal would take him. You know, he dramatically improved their midfield a lot. You know, Isco, and he dramatically improved our midfield as well. And he's a very, very good player. Is Isco, as we all currently know. Isco is a very, very good player. As I said, and as he has proven, he's grown and developed fantastically well. He's a very, very good, tenacious midfielder, and his versatility is good. You can play him on the wing occasionally as well, Isco. So potentially, he's very, very fluent. Attackively, as we all currently know. But as I said, potentially Arsenal have got a few targets. As I said, you know, they've been interested in that Nicolas Pepe. He's in his prime, he's young. He's a Lille player, as we all know, reportedly rated at around, is it 50, 60 million pounds, something like that. I don't know if Arsenal have had any talks with Lille over this, but reportedly Arsenal have been interested in Nicolas Pepe. Obviously signed a 5-year deal back in June 2017, I think it was. But part of these performances for Lille have been very, very good. I think he's young. I think he's, 22, 23 years old. He's Ivory Coastan. Of course, he's a player. He's been a full international since 2016, as we all know. So Arsenal have been interested in. They've been interested in, of course, Christian Pavon as well. You know, Bocchia Junior's player, as we all know, reportedly got a 40-odd million release clause. You know, the recent one they have been linked with Arsenal. He's actually a midfielder. He's 30 years of age, as I have been updating, and they would see him as a good replacement for Mesut Ozil, as we all know, which is 30-year-old Ever Benga, Sevilla player, who has obviously had experience of working with him, because obviously now, as it stands, he's a Sevilla player. He's won 2 Europa Leagues with Sevilla as the player. Obviously, I think this is his second spell with Sevilla. You know, he was at Inter Milan before. I think he had a season with Inter Milan. He was at Sevilla before that as well. He had loan deals with Newell Boys and Atletico Madrid. And when he was at Valencia, he was there quite a lot of years under Mbappe, and he did win the Copa del Rey with them. He made 162 appearances, as we all know. And he began his career with Boca Juniors. He is Argentinian, is the player. He became runner-up in the Copa America with Argentina in 2015, 2016 as well, did the player. But as I said, Arsenal reportedly been interested in him, so they could target him as a good replacement for Mesut Ozil. Reportedly, the player's got around an 18 million release clause. Ever Benga's, I can't pronounce his surname, I might have pronounced it right, I don't know, but his current representative has been in London to negotiate a current deal about this reportedly. So, yeah, Arsenal have also been interested in him. They have got a few potential targets of Arsenal. I think, you know, if they were to get Moussa Dembele in, Ousmane Dembele, the current Barcelona player, that would be a good signing for Arsenal. Ousmane Dembele, he's a very, very good young age prospect, he's Ousmane Dembele. 21, he's still got years ahead of him. He's French, as we all know, he's Ousmane Dembele, and obviously he has a good relationship with Aubameyang and Lacazette, who are obviously in the Arsenal team. He has a good relationship with them, there's Ousmane Dembele. You know, he is a good player. As a youngster, he was a Rennes player. He's an ex-Borussia Dortmund player. Now he's a Barcelona player. He won the La Liga and Copa del Rey his first season. You know, he's been struggling, you know, to get a lot of game time with his belt. He's had a few injury problems as well since being in Barcelona, especially in his first season. You know, he suffered an injury with Barcelona. Barcelona paid like around 106 million euros for him. Ousmane Dembele, you can play him out on the wing. You can play him up front as well. You know, I'd even like him at Manchester United because he's a very, very good player, as we all know. But I don't think Barcelona would be willing to do any business in January. I think, you know, that, leave it at least until next summer, would Barcelona, because I think Barcelona would be reluctant to sell Ousmane Dembele in the January window, but he would be rated at least 100 million euros anywhere, Ousmane Dembele. But he is a very, very good young player, as we all currently know. As I said, he is French, Ousmane Dembele, but Arsenal have monitored an interest in him as well. I think it says Liverpool have showed a slight interest in him. They haven't been heavily into him, but he has mentioned that a few teams have been interested in him. You know, as I did update you earlier on, guys, as well, about Adrien Rabiot, the current Paris Saint-Germain midfielder. You know, Arsenal would like him. As we all know, it says Liverpool have obviously expressed their interest in the PSG midfielder, central midfielder he is. as we all currently. I think he's age 23, 24, so he's like still kind of young in his prime. Is the player, and he's grown and developed very, very well at Paris Saint-Germain. He's been at Paris Saint-Germain for the majority of his career as Adrian Rabiot, I think you call it, or something like that. Let me know if I pronounced his name wrong, but he's Adrian Rabiot. He's a central midfielder. He's been at Paris Saint-Germain for the majority of his career. Reportedly, there has been no signs of him signing a new contract with Paris Saint-Germain because he's currently coming to an end of his deal. He's reportedly out of favour now at Paris Saint-Germain, and reportedly he has been banned from the PSG changing room as the current player. Reportedly, allegedly, he did say in the press that he had allegedly agreed to join Barcelona on the free transfer next summer because Barcelona have been monitoring, obviously, an interest in Adrian Rabiot. But I think it did say, according to the Mirror, and that I'd been reading, that reportedly PSG are willing to cash in for the player to invest some money in January for him rather than let him go on a free transfer next summer when his current contract comes to a conclusion, Adrian Rabiot. But as I said, he's he's been at Paris Saint-Germain for the majority of his career. Risen up the ranks for Paris Saint-Germain. He's been, he made his senior debut for Paris Saint-Germain in 2012. He's won 16 trophies with the club, 16 major honours, including, 4 Liga 1s, also the treble as well. He's been a full, he made his, at youth level with France, in the youth international level, he capped 53 times with France as well. He's been a full international. Well, he made his international senior debut, I think, in like 2016. Did the current player as well. So potentially Liverpool have been reportedly interested. Liverpool could still re-show their interest in Adrian Rabiot, but potentially he's got a lot of good physical attributes as the player. I've seen him a couple of times play for Paris Saint-Germain. As I currently said, so reportedly he's got a few decent physical attributes as the player as well. But yeah, so the main part, so then that's the transfer rumours to update you. I'm just keeping you up to date as many transfer rumours as I currently can. When it comes to January, we will be doing transfer daily, as we always do in this channel. When January comes every day, we'll be doing transfer daily with you guys, as we all currently know. But yeah, so that's mainly transfer rumours to update you with. As I said, with Chelsea, they could be looking likely to sign Pulisic next summer, according to the German media. That report allegedly they've agreed personal terms with Borussia Dortmund. I don't know if it's fully being agreed, but the fee is estimated at around 45-50 million pounds anywhere. But yeah, that's mainly everything to update. But as I said, would Solsjaker and Zinedine Zidane, this is the main headline of this video, would Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or Zinedine Zidane be potentially the better option than Manchester United, obviously going in for Potchettinho or trying to recommend Potchettinho to come in at the end of the season? Man United would have to fork out 35 million anyway, or is it 40? Probably 40 million to get him, when we could use that money to probably get a signing on the board. So you've got to think of it that way as well. So as I said, so anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, guys. I will be back with more live videos tomorrow. So as I said, drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, guys, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.